What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench for another episode of Sci-Fi Wednesdays and our T70 X-Wing by Bandai. Today we're going to go ahead and continue with the painting on this really cool little kit, and we're going to focus on some of the details. Now last time I went ahead and I overcoated the areas with JA green, and I used some basic Tamiya flat white. I think we're looking pretty decent to go ahead and come back today and starting with some red and starting with some gray for different accents here and there. So that's the whole idea today. Now, in terms of the gray color, we're going to be using some USAF medium gray. I talked about that a little bit last time, so I think it's a really good match for the color. We'll be using some Vallejo red for the different accents around the engines and whatnot. So let's go ahead and jump into our first time lapse, get out our tape, start doing some masking, and get some paint applied to plastic. Let's get this going. Moving right along, everybody, we are going to be shifting over now to the gray sections on the S-foils and the gray accents around the nose. On the instructions here, we can see that there are these panels on the top and the bottom of each of the S-foil wings that have kind of a blocked out grayish pattern. Then on the lower part of the S-foil wings, which I guess would be the forward part of the wing itself, we have two red stripes that come straight down off that leading edge. So we're going to have to go ahead and add those as well, but we'll get to that a little bit later. First off, we have to come in and we have to start masking off all the areas around those gray sections. So I'm going to be using some basic Tamiya tape. We'll be using some blue painter's tape, and we're going to make sure that we have a very nice clean demarcation line that will apply the USAF medium gray. It shouldn't be all that difficult to do. I've done one little section already. So we're going to jump into that time lapse. We're going to push forward, continue doing some more masking, and get ready for the detail accent painting. Let's keep it going, guys. We are getting there. All right, everybody, we are back, and I have gone ahead and applied all of that really cool USAF medium gray, and it looks pretty nice. So now we're going to come back in, and I want to go ahead and do some of the accents for the red stripes that come off of the leading edges there on the lower part of the S-foils. To do that, we're going to be using a similar technique that I've used before, where we're going to take some tape and we're going to make our own masks just by going ahead and sticking this tape down on top of the, decals, well, in this case, stickers, and then we're just going to cut out those red rectangles with our hobby knife. That shouldn't be any more difficult than just following the outline of the red areas here on the tape, and then we can reproduce that and make our own masks. So it should be pretty simple. Now, these are stickers, mind you, these aren't decals, so more than likely when I go ahead and pull this tape up, I will end up pulling up a bunch of stickers as well. But that is what it is. I'm not really too concerned. I don't plan on using these stickers. I'm just going to be using these for making our own masks. So it'll be pretty simple. Now, of course, this is going to take a little bit of red color. Really stands out. It looks pretty sharp. So I'm going to be using that straight Vallejo color right out of the bottle. Mix it up, of course, with a little bit of the flow improver and a little bit of our airbrush thinner, also by Vallejo, and I think we'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and pull up this mask right here. And as you can see, of course, some of the stickers went with it. That's okay. We were expecting that. Now we'll go ahead and just stick that down to the bench itself. And I notice I do need to clean up a little bit here and there, so not a problem. Again, with my hobby knife, we're going to go ahead and cut out each of the individual sections there, getting ready for our red paint. Make a couple of marks here in the tape, and I think we are looking pretty decent here. So what we're going to do next is I'll come back and I'm going to use these masks, overcoat certain sections with that red color by Vallejo. When that's dry, unmask everything. And we're going to see how it all looks. So let's go ahead and jump into our third and last time lapse for today's episode. Get these red squares all nicely masked off, paint with some Vallejo red and my airbrush, and then we'll unmask everything and see how we look, guys. So fingers crossed these masks work out. We'll get this thing looking awesome. Let's push on and get this wrapped up. All right, everybody, we are back. And as you can see, we have our freshly painted red accents there on the lower portion of the S-foils. We've got our gray accents as well, and we have our red details around the engines. This is actually coming along. I'm really digging how this is looking. We also added our gray accents here and there on different panels on the front nose, so we are looking pretty sharp. So I think we are moving in the right direction. We did end up getting a little bit of overspray from when we painted on the red bands around the engines, and we have to go ahead and touch up a little bit here and there on the front leading edges, have just a little bit of overspray from the red. But again, not a big deal. I expect some amount of overspray, so we are right on point. We're still pushing forward, and I think this is actually coming along beautifully. So let's go ahead and call it quits for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on episode number 6. Next episode, we're going to come on back. We're going to continue our detail painting, and let's see how that goes. So until our next episode, you guys know the drill. Go out there and get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. And we'll see you back here on episode 7 for our T70 X-Wing by Bandai. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.